Since Joe Biden took office, average American households have lost $4,200 of income per year. You're going to want to hear this report. How you doing and welcome. Before we get into this, if you haven't already, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, click that notification bell, and give us a like. You know, likes and comments are a super easy way for you to help this video reach more audiences. Okay, let's get into this. This is a sad and true story, but you have to understand what's going on, especially prior to the midterms. Joe Biden's rising inflation rates have wiped out Trump-era gains, costing average Americans a $4,200 loss in income. According to data by the Heritage Foundation, thanks to Joe Biden's large spending programs and the Democrats in Congress who have helped him do it, average American workers have lost over $4,000 in annual income since Biden became president, thanks to the skyrocketing inflation and higher interest rates that have annihilated the income gains all Americans felt under the Trump administration. Financial experts at Heritage analyzed the Federal Reserve's interest rates and consumer prices data, and they revealed in a report on Friday that most Americans have lost income, an amount comparable to $4,200 income per capita since January 2021. That's when Nimrod was inaugurated. This is true. I've heard them on talk radio. Many Democrat voters said that when they were asked, why they voted for Joe Biden, they are saying that they couldn't vote for Donald Trump. Okay. But they thought that alternatives like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren were too radical leftists. So they believed what the Biden campaign told them, that Joe would be a uniter and he would govern as a moderate. And that had they known then that Biden was going to govern equal to or worse than radical progressives like Sanders and Warren, they would not have voted at all. Okay. Prices of consumer goods have gone up nearly 13% since January 2021. That's a lot faster than wages have risen. The Biden administration likes to tout that there are jobs being created and that wages are rising. And while that's true, it's not because of Biden's policies, for goodness sake. It's despite Joe Biden's reckless economic policies, and it is because the country was coming out of the COVID pandemic, where Democrats locked everyone down for a year. They shut down businesses, bankrupted many of them, and many of them to never return. All right? Thanks to Democrat economic policies, the cost of things is rising faster than people's wages, which translates into people are able to buy fewer things. Annual purchasing power has gone down $3,000 just due to consumer price increases alone. Heritage says that as the Federal Reserve tightens its monetary policy, along with increased borrowing costs on mortgages, car loans, credit cards, things that Americans use that are caused by higher interest rates, it is reducing the average American's purchasing power by an additional $1,200 per year. Quote, simply put, working Americans are $4,200 poorer today than when Biden took office. E.J. Antoni, who is an economics research fellow at Heritage's Center for Data Analysis, said in a statement to the press, this financial catastrophe for American families is the direct result of a president and Congress addicted to spending our money, combined with the Federal Reserve compliantly enabling this addiction by printing more dollars. Average households have lost about $7,200, which is calculated by doubling the inflation rate of $3,000 and adding the $1,200 in losses from interest rate increases, Anthony said. That inflation number was doubled because average households have 2 working adults. The $4,200 drop wipes out the average American worker's real annual earnings increase of $4,000 that was realized under the Trump administration, according to Heritage. People remember that in November, okay? Inflation can only be caused by the government. When the government adds new money to the money supply without having the manufactured goods that people want to buy up with it, okay, that new money is chasing the same amount of products. Remember at the beginning of the Biden administration, when we had the supply chain problem that was recognized, that we still have, that Buttigieg didn't resolve. Well, remember that the Biden administration, Congress, and the Biden administration were paying people to not work. They were paying them to stay home. If you were making more money than you would to get a job down at the docks to offload the cargo ships, okay, they couldn't. Remember all the stories that went around? They could not get people to offload the goods and services, and that there were ships that were sitting in port off of New York coast, Massachusetts coast, California coast. They were sitting there for like 18 weeks because they couldn't get enough people to bring it in. Well, they increased the money supply during that time. And so what happens in a supply and demand world, well, when you add more money to the money supply, but there aren't enough goods to purchase with all that new money, that leads to inflation. Okay, so the government handouts plus the fact that we had supply chain issues and the fact that they were paying workers to stay home and not help with the supply chain getting products to the store to market. I mean, that was a perfect storm to screw us over, and we're reaping those rewards. Many Americans are taking on additional debt to cover their cost of living, just as rates on all types of consumer debts are going up. Mortgage and interest rates have doubled. They've doubled since Biden assumed office, and that translates into rising monthly payments. All right. And Tony said, we're in a vicious spiral, but it's one of Joe Biden, the Democrat-controlled Congress, and the Fed's own making. And that is true. That is 100% true. The Democrats made this. They manufactured this, okay? Let me ask the Democrats who are watching this. Did you vote for this crap? Will this catastrophe change your mind for the coming midterms in November? If not, then you're an ideological fool, because things can always get worse when you have Democrats in power, okay? Think about this, too. The administration lied to us for over a year of doom and gloom that was coming, and we knew it. But how are you going to stop them? The misinformation news media allows them to say whatever they want. Okay. They first told us that there was no inflation. It was just a conspiracy theory or misinformation, right? Then when they could no longer hide it, they told us that the inflation was just transitory because of economic policy shifts. So what they were doing is they were insinuating that, okay, so maybe there's a little inflation right now, but things will go back to normal. Well, they never did. They just got worse. Then the blame game started. Remember that when Putin invaded Ukraine and Joe Biden came out and started calling it the Putin price hike, and then every other sycophant on the left started calling it the Putin price hike. And the clowns who keep repeating that lie, they didn't take into consideration that unlike them, who have people that go out and purchase things for them, Americans go to the grocery store every single week. They feel the pain. It's palpable to them. They feel the prices going up. They see it each week. They're not stupid. Okay, so we have to get this under control. And one of the ways that we could is by voting for Republicans in November. The Democrats are going to continue to spend us into oblivion. Sometimes you have to think that maybe it's being done on purpose. How else can you describe it? I mean, they know that it's killing our economy. They don't care. I mean, average Democrats are wealthy people. They don't care. Okay. They want power, and they think that the long term of giving people money will get votes from them. Okay. And screw the long term results on average American household. I mean, this has to be remedied, and you can do that in November. All right. You have to get out and vote. All right. That's it. Thanks a lot. Have a good day. Talk to you later. See you in the next one.